welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Ben Shapiro with Michael Knowles, and it's titled "What is Kamala Thinking?" You guys, I'm excited for this, and without much ado, let's see what Ben Shapiro has for us in this video.
Joining us on the line is the execrable Michael Knowles and his cigars. Michael, I'm excited. I got to tell you, I'm excited for the first time since Joe Biden dropped out of the race, and we've had a couple of weeks of the media not asking Kamala Harris any questions at all. We are now, as I've pointed out multiple times on the show, on day 17 of zero questions being asked to Kamala Harris. But now she has made her vice presidential pick, and contrary to all common sense, contrary to all intelligence, she has picked a radical Democrat from a non-swing state who has very little appeal other than that he's like a white guy, I suppose, kind of. What do you make of the pick?
It seems like a big unforced error. I was pulling for Shapiro just so that we would have an in. I assume, at the family reunion, you could have gotten us some access to the White House.
Not related.
Oh, got it. Okay. I assumed that she would probably not pick Shapiro because, as you just said, the Democrats hate Jews right now, and the pro-Palestine people are going to show up to the DNC, and Kamala is this weird Democrat figure because she is, on the one hand, extremely radical to the left of Bernie Sanders in the Senate, and on the other hand, the consummate establishment empty suit. And she is weirdly both of those things, and the way she can be both of those things is that the Democrat establishment has moved extremely far left. The Democratic establishment is pushing gender ideology on kids. The Democrat establishment is pro-abortion up until the moment of birth. So that's how she could skirt that line. But the question was going to be, which way is she going to lean? Is she going to lean into the Democrat establishment and go with Shapiro, or is she going to embrace her radical leftism and go with Waltz? I thought maybe Mark Kelly, astronaut, senator, seems a little bit more moderate. Maybe he could have been a choice. No, she said, forget about all of that. She is going to lean into the leftism. She is going to lean into the Democrat intifada. She's going to lean into where she thinks the base is. And all I can say about it is, at least she's being true to her roots. At least she's giving a clear ideological vision for the campaign, and she's sending a clear message to swing state voters in the Rust Belt, the centrists and the moderates and the people who just don't really like Trump that much. She's saying, hey, vote for me. I'm going all the way left.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of going all the way left, the pro-Hamas caucus is ecstatic today. I mean, it's very obvious why she didn't pick Josh Shapiro. And as you say, it's because he's a Jew. I mean, it's that simple. He's a Jew. It's not even that he's pro-Israel, because his position is mirrored by a bunch of the candidates who are actually in the Democratic Party. He might be more Zionist than some of them, or at least he was 20 years ago. Now, of course, he's attempted to shift and move in an attempt to win over the pro-Hamas base of the Democratic Party. But I'm just going to read you some of the responses from the actual Hamas fans in the Democratic Party. Ilhan Omar, quote, "Congratulations to our next vice president, Tim Walz. Our North Star state governor has signed universal school meals, paid family and sick leave, marijuana legalization, and protections for reproductive rights into law. Bring Minnesota nice to the ticket." Jamal Bowman, "It's Walz, baby. Let's go." I doubt that he would have been nearly as enthusiastic if there had been a triple parentheses guy there. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, "Vice President Harris made an excellent decision, and Governor Walz is her running mate. Together, they will govern effectively, inclusively, boldly for the American people. They won't back down under tight odds either, from healthcare to school lunch. Let's do this." Bernie Sanders says that he hopes Kamala Harris will select a running mate who will speak up and take on powerful corporate interests. I think Tim Walz is somebody who could do that. So the radical left is celebrating. Now, all the attempts in the world to try and pretend that Walz is a moderate or that Kamala is moderate just fell apart. I mean, true idiocy, true full-scale idiocy. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Again,
I have a question
right there. It's kind of amazing.
My question is,
sure,
what does this mean Kamala is thinking? Because we recall Minnesota is the one state that the Democrats managed to win in 1984. Reagan takes 49 states. The one state the Democrats win is Minnesota. This is not a swing state. So does this mean that Kamala is on the defensive here? She's trying to shore up her Democrat support? Or is this Kamala being cocky? Is this her saying, look, we're going to win, and I want to have a leftist to be behind me, to be the legacy, to be the next person in line?
So I think that it's both those things. So I think that she is afraid of her left, I think the Democrats are deeply scared that they were going to get to the DNC in Chicago and that Josh Shapiro would be on the ticket. And you get a bunch of people with Hamas flags out front waving and shouting and burning things. It would make Democrats look super bad. And so instead, she's tried to appease that group. And she's basically taking Jewish voters for granted and assuming that Jewish voters are just going to go right along with this. I actually don't think that's going to work this time. There's some polling data that is now showing a shocking uptick in the amount of Jewish support for Trump. And there are a lot of Jewish voters in the suburbs of Philadelphia, actually. And so it'll be interesting to, also in the suburbs of Detroit, we should point out, it'll be interesting to see what the impact is there, because it's not just that Kamala didn't pick Tim Walz. It's that she specifically kind of face planted Josh Shapiro. Everyone thought that it was going to be the quasi-moderate, he really isn't that moderate, but the quasi-moderate, semi-observant Jew who likes Israel. And she flirted and flirted and flirted. And then she absolutely face planted him in favor of Tim Walz, which is a real slap in the face. So I think on the one hand, she's afraid of her base. She's afraid of that radical base. On the other hand, she is doubling down on the idea that she can get enough of her base out that she is going to win the election. And this, to me, has been the most chimerical Democratic vision since 2012. In 2012, Barack Obama shifted the way the Democrats did elections. In 2008, he said, I'm going to run toward the middle. I'm going to obscure all of my views, and then I'm going to win a broad majority of the American people. And he did in 2008. And then he had 3 years of being president. He sucked at it. He had moved way to the left. He'd pushed Obamacare. And now he said, the only way I can win is by cobbling together my base and disaffected white ladies. And that will be the new base of the Democratic Party.
You guys, what are your thoughts on this video? What do you agree with Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles on this? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
And Hillary tried to duplicate that coalition in 2016. It failed. Biden was only able to quote unquote duplicate the coalition through changing all of the voting rules, and because we had the weirdest presidential election year of all time in 2020. And now Kamala had an opportunity to theoretically run to the middle, and instead she just surrendered the middle to Trump, which is an amazing move. I mean, that is her basically so confident that she is going to be able to beat Trump just on the merits that he's Donald Trump, that she can pick whoever she wants for vice president of the United States. And so I think the confluence of both factors is the answer, I think.
My last question, Ben, for you is, why not pick Mark Kelly? Why did it come down to these two? Why not sidestep the issue of the Israel-Gaza war? Why not sidestep the issue of the radicalism or the establishment, seemingly moderation? Why not go with someone totally different? I don't know. I thought Kelly looked pretty good.
So I think there were a couple of problems with Mark Kelly. One was that there were some stories about him investing in Chinese companies, which were going to come out. Two, there were some rumors that he's been a little loose with the zipper, shall we say, in the state of Arizona. And three is that she's running fairly well behind in Arizona. Like, Trump's numbers in Arizona are pretty solid at this point. And so despite all of the Democratic loose talk about how she's going to open up the Sun Belt to electoral prospects, I really don't think that's going to happen. She understands that she still has to shore up that blue wall. There's still a better than average shot she loses to Arizona and Georgia. North Carolina actually is weirdly kind of in play. But I think that what she was trying to go for here was that Midwestern play. But again, it's just, I'm amazed. It's political malpractice. And again, it teaches you two things. One, she's a radical. But two, she's not good at this. Like, we keep pretending that she's good at this. Kamala Harris sucks at this. She's terrible at this. Like, everyone is forgetting that her 2019 presidential race was a cataclysm of failure. Everyone is forgetting that thing was like apocalyptically bad. That it was so bad that she started off with a lead and 20,000 people at her rally. And by the end, she couldn't even get her immediate family in the room to get a resignation from the race. She quit before they even got to California. And then she was picked off the pile of obscurity by Joe Biden because he needed a black woman in the middle of BLM summer. And that's the only reason she's there. And so there was this sort of weird hope that she was going to, rejuvenate herself. And there's always this hope in politics. I mean, how many times have we seen this with Donald Trump or DeSantis? Literally every politician. It's like, maybe we'll see a new version of them. There'll be a new makeover. Really, the only politician I can think of in modern history who's had like a full-scale makeover comeback really is Nixon, right? From 60 to 68. That's the only one. No other politician does this. Every other politician is who the politician is all the way until the end. Kamala Harris is not competent. She's not competent. This is an incompetent political malpractice pick, which is why I'm excited. I think what it actually demonstrates is that she's going to run a pretty weak election campaign. I think once you get past the TikTok memes, I think once you get past the Beyonce freedom mashups and montages, I don't think there's anything there. I think she's, I've been saying this for a while, an eggshell skull candidate. I think that she looks like she's kind of normal, and then you tap the eggshell skull and it caves in. And I think that this is the Trump campaign's obligation. They cannot waste time. They cannot waste effort. This can't become Festivus, where Donald Trump just wanders around the landscape airing his grievances about Brian Kemp. He has one target and one target only, the Kamala Harris-Tim Walz campaign. And that campaign is the most radical ticket in American history. It's literally the person who presided over the burning down of Minneapolis, combined with the person who's bailing out the rioters in 2020.
In Minneapolis, exactly.
Yes.
With the market collapsing, with looming war in the Middle East, it is nice to get a little bit of good news. If you're a Republican today, I think you got to be smiling at the pick.
I agree. Kamala Harris, by the way, has just tweeted a quick update. I am proud to announce that I've asked Tim Walz to be my running mate. As a governor, a coach, a teacher, and a veteran, he's delivered for working families like his. It's great to have him on the team. So she's going to try to run an economic campaign. Good luck to you, lady. That's going to work out well. Donald Trump is trusted on the economy by double digits, so she's going to run right into the teeth of that. Again, I'm much more optimistic this morning, than I was last night when I thought it was going to be Josh Shapiro, which would have been a much smarter pick. Michael, good to see you, or at least mediocre to see you.
Good to see you. I might light up a Mayflower cigar to celebrate.
I think so. Again, it is an amazing blown opportunity. Michael, I appreciate the time. It's an amazing blown opportunity here by the Harris campaign. It's incompetence. It is foolishness. It is not good. It is not good. Yeah, again, the sort of idea that Tim Walz is going to be the savior of the campaign is pretty wild. He's a deep blue progressive, often called a prairie progressive. Apparently, this was Nancy Pelosi's pick. That's according to Selena Zito. She says that it was pretty obvious. It was a Nancy Pelosi pick. It's a progressive pick. All of the lines of attack are now open, and the Trump campaign would be committing a sin, a full-scale sin, not to pursue those lines of attack.
You guys, that was such an interesting one from Ben Shapiro and Michael Knowles. And do you guys think Kamala Harris is a political malpractice pick like Ben Shapiro hinted? And do you think she's competent enough to be the next president of America? What do you guys think about her VP pick? Do you guys think Tim Walz is a good pick for Kamala Harris? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed every minute of this video, and I believe you guys also enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.